enough for food. A lot of farmers are seeing their crops go to waste. There's no one to pick their vegetables or process their milk.
I mean, the food's here. The farmers have it, and the consumers need it. Somehow we gotta get the system in between to work for that.
Meat producers are also finding themselves at the mercy of a stalled food pipeline. The president of the United States has now ordered meat processing plants to stay open despite serious outbreaks of coronavirus among workers who spend hours a day working in close contact. But will these workers show up to work without protection? The stalemate is putting beef, pork, and chicken farmers in quite the quandary. What do you do when you can't take your animals to market? According to one estimate from the National Pork Board, 1.5 million hogs will have to be euthanized in the coming weeks. And Mike Patterson is a pig farmer in Minnesota. And Mike, my heart goes out to you. You know, we need our farmers in this country, and to think what you all are going through, this must be excruciating. Can you just tell me the situation at your farm with your hogs, and have you had to start euthanizing as well?
Yeah, thanks for having me on and talking about this issue. So our farm, we have about 3,000 head of finishing hogs on our farm, which is kind of a typical average size finishing operation for the upper Midwest. So our hogs, we were supposed to start selling to Smithfield in Sioux Falls on April 15th, and we haven't sold any hogs. So they're still here. We're still feeding them. They're getting larger. I'm part of also a hog cooperative where we've got a dozen families that work together. And we had to make the difficult decision that starting this week, we will be euthanizing some hogs, depopulating some barns. Our hogs here on our farm are close to that point, but not yet.
And explain to people why you have to do that, why you say this is an animal welfare issue.
Yeah, really, we really think it is an animal welfare issue. There's only so much room to house these animals. We've got our system down very efficient from getting those animals from the sow unit where they're born to the nursery facility where they're raised to about 50 pounds, and then from our farm from about 50 pounds to harvest weight. There's only so much space. We've got it all planned out exactly how much space we need. We know that the processor can take them in a typical situation. So there's not a lot of excess space in the system. So the hogs in my barns, they're getting bigger. If you add, hogs could gain 30 to 40 pounds in 2 weeks. And just that much more mass. They're just more crowded together, and it does become an issue. And I've got hogs that are supposed to come to my farm in just a couple of weeks, and I haven't sold any to our packer, and I don't have anywhere to go with those hogs. So at some point, there's just nowhere to go with them because the barns are full, and the pigs coming up from the younger ages are coming into these barns, and there's just nowhere to go with them.
So you're forced to euthanize, and I know there are people watching and they're thinking, how dare you do this to the animals, and how dare you throw away food when so many people in this country are hungry. I was even reading about some farmers receiving anonymous death threats because of what's having to happen. But I imagine does this make you sick to your stomach to have to do this?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we're farmers. What we do every day is we're trying to care for that animal. Their health and well-being is our top priority. We do everything we can to keep these animals, and they are meant for the food supply, and we pride ourselves in creating that delicious, nutritious pork for people's plates. Bacon, pork chops, all those things. That's what they're intended for. To see them go to waste is absolutely totally opposite of everything that we do out here on the farm. If we had any other options, we absolutely would take it. We've been working within our system to find as much space as possible, but at some point there's no way we're going to be able to handle the backlog because the plants won't even be at full capacity when they do get running, and there's just nowhere to go with them.
Yep, I hear you on lack of space. You've got more pigs headed your way. You know, I know you also have been trying to get creative and selling your pigs on Facebook, you know, doing what you can. At the end of the day, you are a dad. You have a family to provide for. I read about your four girls, you know, ages all the way from college to kindergarten. Bless you. You know, we don't know how long this is going to last, Mike, so what are you going to do?
Well, really, you know, being the dad of girls, we've watched a few Disney movies, and kind of like in the Frozen 2 theme, you do the next right thing, and that's really what we're trying. We're trying to do the next right thing for our animals. We're trying to do the next best thing for our family. So it's a you know, do that next right thing. So I don't know. We're kind of making decisions week by week. We're trying to get as many into the hands of our local, into our local butcher shops to be harvested and for consumers here locally. I am working with some people. Hopefully, we'll be able to provide some pork to the food shelf here locally and in Minnesota. So we're working on some things there. You know, we're doing everything we can to not have to waste this food that's perfectly great for consumers. But in the end, there's our system, we're about harvesting about 125,000 pigs less per day in the United States. So in 2 weeks, that's 1.25 million animals that would have been harvested. Right now, they're taking up space in barns. There's just physically no place to house all those animals.
I believe you when you say you are doing everything you can. Good luck, Mike, to you and all your girls that you also have to take care of. Mike Patterson in Minnesota, thank you very much. Hundreds of people show up to this